I just can't give it up. Yeah, yeah.
Dang, man. Another cold ass day. Was snowing earlier. Still waiting to put on them summer tires, but until then, I guess. Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squally. It's been a slow couple of weeks here. Haven't really been motivated to do anything outside just because it's been so cold. Right now, it's right around 0 degrees in the garage. And to be honest, when it's this cold, I don't really feel like doing anything. But I was out here a couple of days ago working on the G35. Now, I ended up taking off the coilovers out of the front. Now the problem that I'm having is that when I go over bumps, I'm getting like a knocking noise, and it sounds like it's coming right from the top here. I ended up checking all of the ball joints, like the control arms. This is just loose because I just have the bolt in there holding everything up. But like I went through, I'm gonna still check my sway bar bushings. Maybe it's like a sway bar bushing issue, but the front wheel bearings are new. And one of the weird things about it is that when I hit my brake very lightly, if I'm going like, I don't know, 10-15 kilometers an hour, I get the same kind of knocking noise. So I have a feeling it's something to do maybe the lower ball joint. I haven't checked the lower ball joint, but my first thought was these top mounts, since I did reuse these off of my stock suspension on the G35 when I first got it. Now one thing is when I push down, the shock doesn't actually rebound unless you pull it up. And I don't know if you can hear this. You can't really hear it, but when I pull up the shock, it maxes out pretty much where it is right now. So I'm not sure if that when I'm going over bump, the spring is actually pushing like the shock up too fast, and it's like just basically bottoming out. I'm not too sure. So I'm just working on the front suspension. Now obviously with things going on right now, car season is not looking too good for 2020. I mean, I'm not even sure if the track's going to be open with all this social distancing and stuff like that. But there are a few things that I do want to do to the G35 just to get it ready for the summer so that I can drive it around and at least enjoy it. So as you guys know, we did have the wheel spacers, which we installed. One of the other things that I do want to do is I'm going to be removing these little splitter add-ons right here, and I'm going to be doing like a full front splitter, like custom on this. Now my initial plan was to get a G37 IPL front bumper and kind of mimic that, but I haven't had any luck to find one for a decent price to like buy and get the shape. But what I think I want to do is come out from here a little bit farther than this splitter, and then come in a little bit and sort of around the same area, kind of V in a little bit, but still have some splitter coming along the front here. So I'm going to be doing a custom front splitter on the G35, paint match that with gloss, as well as the sides on the bottom, paint match that with gloss. Now as far as the rear end goes, I want to remove the rear diffuser and rebuild it. I'm probably going to be doing that a little later on today because I hit a couple of potholes and completely, like not this back section here, but the front section actually got damaged quite a bit. And I had to straighten out the fins, but they're a little wobbly. So what I think I might do later on today is remove this, take the measurements. I'm going to rebuild this splitter, and then I might straighten this one out the best I can and probably put it on the Altima. And then I also want to extend the diffuser to come out on the sides here, so it'll mount up flush here, and then when we get to here, it'll kind of come out a little bit and match up. Like this, the same amount sticking out would match up along the sides here. I just want it to look a little bit more aggressive from the rear. Now, I do have the 350Z wheels off of the Altima, as you guys saw. I got some relatively newer rubber put on here. They're still kind of beat up, but it's better than the tires that I had on there before, which were completely camber worn, that the threads were showing, and one of them actually popped on me as I was driving home one day. But yeah, we got a little bit of damage as we were changing the tires, as you would imagine, just from crowbars and stuff like that. So I ended up sanding down all 4 wheels, and I think what I'm probably going to do when it gets a little warmer out is repaint these with the same gloss white that they were before. Now, I was thinking of doing black, but I don't know, black's just kind of very plain, and you can't really tell where the tire and the rim, where the tire stops and the rim starts when it's really black. I was also thinking of like a gloss gray, but I think white for the Altima is a nice color. Some of the other options that I was thinking of were like gold or bronze, but I think with the tan on the Altima, it just wouldn't look good. I think white looked pretty nice. So yeah, basically just been waiting for a nice day where it's above 10 degrees to paint these, because the paint tends to crack and not bond properly when you try painting in like very cold temperatures. And then aside from that, I did get some Nismo decals that I ended up buying for the Sentra. They were actually off of a 350Z. So what I'm thinking is I have the stripes that go along the back, and then it has like a little red, white, and black checker there. And then I also have the one that goes on the hood. So in the future, I might test those out, see how it'll look, maybe Photoshop a set on here once I get the dimensions and see how they'll look. And I'm probably also going to be switching up the rear muffler. Now, for those of you guys who remember, this is a Vibrant ultra quiet resonator that I have on the back acting as a muffler. I ended up getting a Borla muffler off of like a 2011, 2012 V8 Mustang. Now, one of my buddies had the dual exhaust on it, and one of the clamps came loose, and one of the mufflers fell off, and then he had to buy a whole new exhaust system, and then he had one muffler left over. It is a Borla, it is a straight through, but since I don't daily this car as much as I did when I first got the test pipes installed, which is why I ended up having to put the ultra quiet on there, I think with it being a Borla muffler, I feel like it'll just give me a little bit of a better sound. Now, one thing about the Vibrant ultra quiet muffler when I put it on is it did what I wanted it to. It toned down that rasp to the point where I could actually drive it on the highway. Just the one disappointing thing about it is I really don't like the way that it sounds. I feel like it's a very it's just not a very refined sound, especially for a VQ. It is still loud, but just the tone of it, I'm not really into. So I'll probably end up doing that in probably the next week or so. I'm going to start plugging away at this once I think the weather's supposed to warm up next week a little bit, so I should be able to get out here and not have to turn on the heater and not have to see my breath when I'm trying to work on things. But yeah, as it sits right now, not exactly sure what's going to be going on this summer. But yeah, I do have a few things that I do want to do to the G35 in the next couple of weeks. So I figure I'd just do a little bit of an update video since it has been a couple weeks since I put a video up on the channel. This channel anyways, I have been actually ramping up the gaming content on my other channel, youtube.com/Don Squally. So if you guys do still want to, watch a little bit of content from your boy, but it's just me playing video games inside of a warm house, definitely check that out. But I think that is pretty much all I wanted to go over for today's video. I know this was kind of just a little bit of a talking video, but like I say, it's a little cold out here for me, and there was a couple of plans that I just wanted to solidify and put online. So now, since I said all these things, I have a list that I can go look back on and basically just figure out what it is that I want to do in what order. But yeah, if anybody has any idea as to where that front knock might be coming from, let me know down in the comment section. It's kind of annoying. I changed upper control arms, changed sway bar end links, I'm pretty sure are new wheel bearings, so I'm not really sure if it's got something to do with the brake caliper or the lower control arm, but when it's a little warmer, like I say, I'll get out here and probably investigate that a little more. more. But that's pretty much all that I wanted to go over for today's video. So I'm going to try to put out a little more content once I have a little bit more time and I'm not so busy with work and all that stuff. And of course, once the weather warms up. But yeah, that is pretty much everything that I wanted to go over in today's video. So if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you're not subscribed yet, definitely do so. That's pretty much it, man. So as always, I'm your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.